Hi guys, welcome to another podcast for LAWCET 3 Years 2021 examination. I mean, result is out and many of you have got selected also. And today we have a Dhwani Shah. She scored 120 marks out of 150 in CET 3 years 2021. And she is here for the podcast today. So we will be talking to Dhwani, understanding how she gone through about her preparation. Basically, she joined us for the CET Heist online program. Basically, lockdown में था सब online ही था. So all the podcasts which are coming up, do watch all the podcasts because lots of things you will be learning and same thing you can implement in your preparation. So let's talk to Dhwani and understand how she prepared her exam. First of all, hi, hello, Dhwani.
Hi, sir. Thank you for having me.
Once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
And you're welcome. Okay, so Dhwani, first of all, give a basic introduction about yourself, like name, which city, from which city you have done your academic, your 10th, 12th graduation, and why this, how this law idea came into the picture.
Sure, sir. So my name is Dhwani and I reside in Bombay, in Mumbai. So I did my schooling from Gopi Birla Memorial School, CBSE board, and I scored a 99%. In my 12th grade, I did HSC from HR College of Commerce and Economics. I scored a 94.7%, and then I continued at HR College for my undergraduate program, wherein I pursued my Bachelor's of Commerce, Accounting and Finance, the BAF program. And I graduated in May. And then I was really keen on pursuing higher studies. So I looked at my options. I spoke to a couple of people and I came across the 3-year law program. And I believe that law as a subject or even as a career has a lot of scope because it has a very wide ambit in the sense that law is required in any field, in every sphere. There is a certain law that is regulating every sphere, anything new that comes up in the future. Say, for example, cryptocurrency is really on the rise. There is going to be a law to regulate that as well. So there are a lot of opportunities that you can pursue. There are a lot of laws in different fields that you can explore and you can pursue. So I believe it is a good option to pursue for a career.
Okay, so no one pushed you to, okay, you have to do law only. You have chosen this field, right? You have decided, okay, I want to go for the law.
Yes, sir. It was my decision.
Okay, great. Anyone who is lawyer in your family?
No, sir. I have a cousin who completed his law this year. And a couple of my friends actually gave their CET last year. So I was aware about the CET exam that you had to give if you wanted to pursue the law course in Maharashtra. But apart from that, nobody is a lawyer in my family.
Okay. So you'll be the first lawyer. Okay, great. Now let's jump to the preparation part. This is the common question to all. When it's come to CET preparation, what are the things, according to you, think required for your preparation? Obviously, there is a material, there is a motivation required, there is a strategy required. You need lectures and all. Apart from this, what else was there which help you to continue your preparation and boost your preparation, basically?
So I believe that in time-bound exams, such as this CET entrance exam, it's very important to know certain tips and certain tricks, or you can say certain shortcuts to solve the paper. Say for example, in your logic questions, there are multiple ways to solve a question, but you need to know the fastest way to solve it so that you don't waste too much time solving a particular question. So I had actually enrolled in the CET Heist program, which was a 10-day program. And I think for that was like the game changer for me personally, because it taught me simple ways, but very effective ways to attempt the paper. And in entrance exams, when you are competing on such a large scale, everybody is going to study the material. The material is the same for everybody. Everybody is obviously going to give their best. But these certain tricks that you use that can give you the edge over the other people, over the other candidates. What taught to me in this course, not only for logic, but even simple things like how to attempt a reading comprehension. A reading comprehension carries a good amount of marks. So if you can ace your reading comprehension, you automatically get the good, like a good amount of marks. And in you just need to read one paragraph and it's going to give you 5 or 6 marks. And attempting questions such as using elimination theory, or basically how to skim through the passage, how to there are certain typical question types that are asked. So knowing those, just being familiar with those question types and mentally preparing yourself to attempt those, that was a very big turning point in my preparation, at least. So that really helped me. Apart from that, I believe that doing mocks has been a very big boost for me, because the more mocks you do, the more it helps you to time yourself. You know where you are lacking. Analyzing the mocks basically helps you to identify your strengths or your weaknesses, not only subject wise, but also topic wise. Say in a particular subject, if I am well versed with law of torts, but if I am not very good with criminal law or the IPC, then I know exactly where I need to study in those last 10 to 15 days. I know where to focus my attention. So I think solving mocks and previous year questions is very important, and that helped me a lot.
Right. Basically, you got to know about the 5 Ws, what to study, where to study, and when to study, whom to from what material we're supposed to, whom to study basically, and yeah, what, where,
Yes.
when, whom. Yeah, this is what the overall preparation part basically.
Yes.
As you mentioned, mock test was a booster for you. So what was your highest score in the mock test?
So in one of the mock tests, my mock tests were actually, I scored above 105 in all of the mock tests. So it also really helped me with the confidence, because I think in exams like these, you, if you are mentally calm during an exam, you can solve a paper much better than you would if you were nervous. So it also helped me boost my confidence. There was one mock test where I think I scored 118. So that was my highest.
Oh.
And
in the exam you scored 120.
118, I'm not sure. It was a Manoeuvre mock test only. I took the jumbled mock test series because I came to know through the videos that the paper pattern has changed. So I panicked a little, but after doing 3 jumbled mock tests, I was really able to understand how to solve it, and I could manage it much better. Then the fear factor went away.
Obviously, when you write the mock test, there's a time pressure is already there. So right. You practice whatever mistakes which possibly you can do, you are doing in the mock test, so that in the actual exam, we should not do all those mistakes, right?
Right.
So you have learned all those parameters. Okay. So during your preparation, was there any battery down moment? Ki yaar, mera to nahi ho paega, aisa, any kind of any such kind of a thing happen?
So I was when I initially began my preparation, I used to find the puzzles very tough in logic, and that is also a very big. They are questions where you can gain a good 3 to 5 marks, right? Because एक puzzle पे 4-5 question आ ही जाते हैं. So I was unable to solve and crack puzzles, and that actually really got to me at a certain point of time, and I was contemplating just leaving the puzzles. But obviously after the heist series, because I solved a lot of questions and because I now knew how to solve it, it really helped me crack a lot of questions and get my confidence back. And one other aspect where I was really nervous about, I was really stressed about general knowledge and current affairs, because that is such a wide concept. They can ask you anything from anywhere. And I personally did not have a lot of time to prepare for the CET exam. So I was panicking about whether I will lose majority of my marks, which I cannot afford, in the general knowledge section and the current affairs section. But luckily all went well, touch wood.
Selection हो गया अपना. Okay. You said you used to watch all the YouTube videos of Manoeuvre. You joined the CT heist. That was very helpful, and the mock test was there. So how and in what areas it was helpful, and you found it much more, beneficial?
Definitely, I would say for logic. When I used to, before taking the heist series, I had solved a lot of previous year questions and a lot of practice questions in logic. But I used to take at least 50 seconds to a minute to solve each question. And in something as easy as inequalities, you cannot afford to spend. You can afford to spend, say, 30 to 40 seconds.
Maybe
And
lesser
in an
than that.
entrance exam, even those 20 seconds can be a game changer. So those shortcuts that I learned to solve my logic questions, especially for blood relationships and inequalities, for
Syllogism.
puzzles, for circular arrangement, for all of this, the methods to solve these questions really helped me. The mock tests really helped me. In fact, there were a couple of questions that came in my set during the exam that were picked up from the mock test, like I was reading, and I had got those wrong in the mock test.
Okay.
So when I had analyzed my mock test, that's why when I was solving it during my exam, I could instantly just, my brain went back there and I knew that this was wrong. So now I knew exactly what options I had to choose. So the mock test really helped me because judging how to solve a jumbled paper pattern is much more difficult, because you cannot skip. Say I had initially planned to solve the English section first and do the GK section last. But when everything is jumbled, you don't have that freedom. You don't have that luxury. You have to take it as it comes. You also have to finish your paper in those 2 hours that are allotted to you. So yeah, solving the mock tests and the Manoeuvre mock test helped me a lot. And also English, I had taken it a little bit too lightly before the CT High series. And while I was solving my previous year questions, I was making a lot of mistakes because you just take it for granted, I think, at a certain point of time that, okay, you know the language, so maybe it won't be that tough. But the type of questions that they ask you are not always something that you know. And so it also really helped me how to manage my like antonyms, synonyms, idioms, especially the reading comprehensions. That was really clear to me at the end. And Azad sir used to post YouTube videos on for current affairs and general knowledge, and even during the high series, he gave us very wonderful tables and PPT slides for GK, and I had screenshotted those. And like 4 days before my exam, I was going through those, and those really helped me like attempt a lot of the GK questions.
Okay, great. Very good. Very good. Finally, it was helpful.
Yes, so definitely.
Okay, so last question which I asked to all the toppers. So from you also, what tips or session you want to give to upcoming year aspirant, those who are planning to write next year or 2023-24? Yeah.
So firstly, you should be well versed with the paper. When I say the paper, what are the subjects? What are the topics per subject? How many marks are allocated to each subject? What is the paper format? Like, we got to know that this is jumbled. Your strategy for attempting the paper depends a lot on the paper format and the marks per subject. So you should be very well versed with this. Next, start preparing well in advance, because the advantage that time can give you over other candidates is very often neglected. But when you start preparing well in advance, you get more time to revise. You get more time to go through things thoroughly. Right. So time is a very big factor that you should consider. Then your revisions should be extensive, should be very, very thorough, because that is the only way to ingrain topics in your brain. Law is not a subject where you can rote learn. Like ratta maar ke nahi ja sakte. Your concepts have to be clear. Your revision needs to be very strong. Secondly, I would say don't a small thing, a small, I would say, like suggestion for GK would be, don't overwhelm yourself with information. It's very easy because GK, again, it's so wide. It has everything and anything. So make sure that you start revising well you start going through your GK well in advance, because 1 month before the paper, if you are saying that I will do 1 year worth of GK, that is not going to be possible. So GK, you should start reading well in advance. I would say 1 year before you are attempting your paper, you should start reading the newspaper or start watching videos, whatever is your medium of learning, and try not to overwhelm yourself with too much from everywhere. Secondly, I would say you should, in a time bound exam like this, shortcuts are very important. So make sure you can gather information about every shortcut that you possibly can, that can help you, give you the advantage of time during the exam. Please practice previous year questions and mocks. That is the only thing that can take you from the, say, 90 to 120 or the 100 to 120. Mocks are your best friend when you're preparing for an exam. And make sure you analyze your mocks, not like you would just do your mock and then leave it. Make sure after every mock, sit for a good 1 hour, go through all your questions, whether you've attempted them correctly or wrongly. So this will help you to identify your strengths and your weaknesses. And once you know these strengths and weaknesses, you can allocate your revision time, or you can allocate your learning time much more efficiently. You can give more time to topics where you have not scored well. And when you know that something is your strength, maybe you would give it lesser time, but also revise it well enough to not forget it. And yeah, the most important thing, try before the exam, try to remain very calm, very composed, because there are going to be certain things in every exam that we do not know. Nobody can know everything, and that is normal. So if you don't know something during an exam, leave it at that point of time. Do the things that you know, attempt those questions, and then you can always come back to what you don't know and then spend the rest of your time on it.
Okay, great. Anything else have you written?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay guys, so lots of information given by Dhwani Shah. I think इतना follow कर लिए तो मुझे तो मतलब कुछ guide करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. ठीक है. So Dhwani guided you properly how to, if I summarize overall podcast of Dhwani's, then we can say like you should very first you should start your early preparation. That is one. Second, you should have a proper content ready with you, study material, what resources, syllabus, topic, all these parameters. Third, you should have a proper routine in terms of the preparation. Early preparation, obviously, you should start. Mock tests play very important role, and mock analysis is more important than writing the mock test. So definitely after every mock test, do analyze your mock test. So, and yeah, this is what the complete compendium part of, you can say, of this podcast. So अगर कुछ समझा नहीं है तो rewind करके वापस देख लेना, but lots of things explained by Dhwani, and I think this is the all-time best podcast I think explained, and proper proper information given by Dhwani. So do watch carefully this podcast. And yeah, Dhwani, once again, congratulations to you for 120, and thank you for coming here and sharing your experience.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, chalo, bye bye. All the best for your career.
Thank you, sir.